Geez, it's about to be a very busy next few days. We got to talk about the market crash, folks. Lot going on out there with this Russia-Ukraine situation. I want to talk about here before I go to bed what's going on in the markets, what to prepare for, what I think is going to transpire here. Essentially, it's about 1:30 where I'm at. It's about 3:30 on the East Coast. Essentially, obviously, I think everybody's aware now at this time. Russia indeed is attacking Ukraine now. It's a mess. Look at this photo here. Countless Ukrainian citizens and residents head out of Kyiv to the west, hoping to find safety as Russia's invasion of Ukraine continues. Look at that. I mean, what a mess. So seeing this here, essentially, Russian tours are reportedly in the Ukrainian city. This Ukrainian city spot their armor, the letter Z. Last night, pro-Russian Telegram channels called the Ukraine invasion as Operation Z. So, and we've gotten confirmed reports out of big news sources as well that essentially, Russia has entered into many various places. Let's just put it that way, okay? Breaking, look at this, huge explosion. This was 11 minutes ago. Huge explosion reportedly claimed to have occurred at a military depot. We've seen several of those over the past, let's call it 2 or 3 hours now. And, these explosions are massive. Look at this. This is some of the aftermath because now it is morning there. Essentially, a lot of these attacks were when it was still dark. So now some of the, we can actually see some of this, what's going on. Headquarters of an unspecified unit of armed forces of Ukraine in Kyiv. I can never pronounce the words right. I apologize. After Russian strike, I mean, look at that. I mean, it's bad, right? Russian President Vladimir Putin announced a military operation in Ukraine and warned other countries that any attempt to intervene with Russia action will lead to, quote, consequences that have never been seen. Just a direct threat, essentially. That's a direct threat to anybody in the world who wants to even try to put their hands in this, right? It's an ugly situation. I got a lot of folks that are looking for leaders around the world to maybe step up, but it's like, well, what do you want them to do exactly? And a lot of people are very, quiet about what do you want this person to do? What do you want this person to do? Right? Do you want to go to straight up war with Russia? Is that what you want? So I think it's very easy to point fingers at time moments like this, and but the question is what would you do if you were put in the shoes in this situation, right? Now, Taiwan is the second leading trending subject on Twitter right now. If you didn't know, there's a lot of drama between potentially China, Taiwan, and if China wants to just flat out take over Taiwan. So this is a whole other situation. I don't even want to go down that rabbit hole, but nonetheless, remember, when you're in a fear time, and it's not just in the stock market, when you're in a fear time in general, the thought process just goes to everything's worst case scenario, right? I saw, World War III, WW3 was trending on Twitter. That's just how it is in these sorts of times. I mean, everybody's going to take it to the most extreme, and we have to just see what is real, what's really going to happen here, but it's ugly, okay? So let's get to the markets now. It's going to be a rough one, likely tomorrow. Dow's already down 764 points. Keep in mind, it's about 1:30, a little past 1:30 a.m. where I'm recording at. So market opens here in about 6 hours. So still a long time before the market opens, but it's looking rough. Dow futures down 764. S&P 500 obviously down big. NASDAQ should be 12,000 something tomorrow. I don't know why they got 13.1. It should be, 12,000 something will be the NASDAQ essentially tomorrow. Let me just answer this. I know there's a lot of people that are wondering, what am I doing tomorrow? Am I buying? Am I selling? I'm not doing either tomorrow. I'm just holding. I'm not planning on buying any stocks or selling any stocks tomorrow. My plan is just to hold and see what happens, see how this whole situation shakes out. It's obviously a really, really volatile situation right now. And it's definitely something that is going to shake up the world, at least for the short term. Now, let's hope things don't get much, much worse because, in this sort of situation, things could get massively worse. So let's hope for the best, prepare for the worst. So as far as me in any of my investments go, I'm not selling anything tomorrow. I'm not buying anything. I'm just a holder through a dramatic situation like this, which is definitely a dramatic situation, right? Oil is going crazy as if it wasn't going crazy enough, right? which means essentially get ready to pay up at the pump even more over the coming months. Just across the board, 5%, 6% type moves. Natural gas, 6.5% there. Brent, about 6% move there. WTI is about 5.6%. So oil jumping. Obviously, I think everybody that understands anything about the economy, oil going up and up and up is not good, because let's be honest, like most people still drive gas cars, right? That take gasoline, and so if you got to pay more at the pump, that's less money you could spend other places. So that's just not a good thing. That's just, at the end of the day, it's just not a good thing. And then transportation in general, think about truckers, how everything's transported. I mean, this is just not good. Natural gas, gas is so widely used in so many homes around the world, and especially in developed countries. So natural gas goes up, heating costs goes up. It's just it's just bad. That's all you can say about that. None of that's good, unless maybe you dig for oil or something like that, or frack for oil. Outside of that, it's not really good for almost anybody. Might be good if you're a country that is very is a huge producer of fossil fuels. Okay, I wonder what country that is. Look it up. Gold jumping to its highest level in more than a year as Russia invades Ukraine. This is a big move for gold. I know it's 1.8%. That seems like nothing, but for gold, that's actually a big move there. Gold, a lot of people like to flock to safety or they feel like they're flocking to safety in a volatile time like this, so they buy gold. And so that's why gold's up 1.8%. Silver is actually making a bigger move up there, about 2.5% there. That's just what happens in this sort of market where people get scared. Some people like to flock to gold. They'll put their cash in gold, essentially. And I'm not going to say it's right or wrong. It's just what some people like to do. Okay. European markets are all down big. The FTSE's down 2.7%. The CAC's down 3.5%. Rough for the European markets. And, I think it's a much more serious situation in regards to Europe than actually the States. So I'm not surprised that their markets would get it even worse than our markets, to be honest. The Russian ruble plummets to record low against the dollar as Putin attacks Ukraine. So that's a whole situation. This is such a, when you get a situation like this, it's such a, it creates such a mess in so many different ways. It creates a mess in the stock market. It creates a mess in commodities market. It creates a mess in foreign exchange. Oh my gosh. I mean, it just creates a mess everywhere. That's why, really, and nothing really good comes out of situations like this, because all it does is create more volatility in more messy situations across everything. It goes so much bigger than that. Now, the question is in regards to tomorrow's market, all right? Obviously, market down is going to be likely down huge. Does the plunge protection team come in? Now, I don't even know if this is a rabbit hole I want to get into. The plunge protection team is kind of a real thing, and it's kind of a conspiracy theory all at the same time. There's like truth to it, but then there's also like this unknown of what the plunge protection team does. And, if you look back, basically at the end of December of 2018, we had a horrible market. We were on pace for the worst December ever. And then the plunge protection team was called in to basically try to look at the situation. And next thing you know, very shortly after that, the market bottomed and we started going up again. And, in that situation, what happened? The Treasury Department said on Sunday, the working group, which is AKA the plunge protection team, will discuss coordination efforts to assure normal market operations. So the question is, does something like that happen on a day like tomorrow? Because do think about it, right? I think, Ronald Reagan set this up back in the day, and they're used from time to time. And I think there's a few reasons why they're used. And I think, once again, this is a controversial subject. And there's a lot of people that absolutely believe the plunge protection team is a major reason why the market doesn't drop significantly. Ronald Reagan set this up after the 87 crash, where the market just absolutely tanked through the floor, essentially. And a lot of times, politicians especially, or the government, they are like, what is going on in the market? Like, why does the market keep dropping? And think about it from the context of this, right? Imagine a country invades another country, right? and all of a sudden oil market goes crazy, stock market tanks, and your companies lose hundreds of billions of dollars or maybe even potentially trillions of dollars. Well, now that just became something that is directly affecting you. So now that country just put a hurt on you, even though they didn't actually directly attack you, right? And so do you want to give them the credit for essentially tanking your stock market, right? Because that makes you almost look weak, and that makes countries almost think, hey, maybe we can do this more often, right? And so you're almost like incentivized to do whatever you can so the market doesn't go down huge, so it doesn't look as like, wow, that country really just caused a bunch of economic damage. Because with this Russia situation, for instance, they've obviously caused a lot of damage to the stock market. There's no doubt about that. We were already in a tough market with the wall of worry of inflation and the Fed and all the stuff we got going on. And then this Russia situation just added, more fuel to the fire. Or maybe they weren't more fuel to the fire. Maybe they were just, a few matches into the gasoline, essentially, right? So we'll see what happens with that. You can do your own research on the plunge protection team at your own will there. I'll just leave that situation where it's at, okay? Now, one thing we know the plunge protection team is not there to save the day of is cryptocurrencies. Ethereum's down over 12%. Bitcoin's down about 7.5% as of right now. ADA's down massively. Just about every single crypto out there is just down huge right now. And the tough thing with the crypto market is there's really no one there to save the day. And that's kind of the risk of investing in crypto. So it's going to be a very, very busy next few days for me. I can tell you that much. A lot going on out there. And there's so much going on. Like I said, with me personally in the market, tomorrow I won't be buying, I won't be selling, I won't be literally doing anything. I'll just be kind of, just watching everything, keeping up with everything that's going on, and then I'll make decisions after that. But there's so much going on right now that, even for me, I'm like, I'll hold right now. And we'll see what kind of transpires here. Maybe get back to buying on Friday or this upcoming week, okay? So anyways, guys, hope you enjoyed this as always. Much love. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you're not already, and have a great day.